In this world, I'm intentionally limiting myself to stay true to Minecraft's core, so no elytra, no villagers, just me, the world, and the challenge of building something incredible from the ground up. It's all about the basics, exploring, crafting, and shaping our future block by block. I'll embark on quests, connect with friends, and unleash creativity in ways that I've never done before. Last time on the Channel 64 SMP server, we got started with our cozy little fisher hut, but today, we've got plans. So I've got 3 main goals, and first up, this quiet lake of ours needs some love. We've got a hut and a jetty shore, but no boats, so that's got to change. So we'll be adding in some much needed little details and touches that will really start to breathe in some life into the whole area. And then next, I need to connect up with the world around us. You see, this is a multiplayer server after all, and I've got a personal mission to stay grounded quite literally, so no elytra. And that means that we're going to be making pathways to join up with our neighbors. And finally, it's time to begin phase 2 of our cozy base plans. So we'll be starting off by giving our Carls a home, because yeah, they deserve better. No more sad little pen, they're getting a new home. But before all that, there's one major issue that we need to overcome. We're still rocking our starter iron gear, so today we're diving in and we're just going to need to get started straight away and get ourselves upgraded. Let's go. So a bit better, we're at least now rocking a diamond armor and some basic diamond gear, but I am lacking the levels to actually properly get them fully enchanted and get up to a good standard. So we'll have to tackle that a little bit later on in the episode, but we're at least ready to go with starting on our first goal of today, and that is by adding in some life into this lake. So I'm thinking that I'd like at least to make at least a couple of boats, ideally. So I'm thinking maybe like one sort of smaller one sort of moored up at our little jetty outside of our fisher hut. And then I'm thinking maybe also a bit of a bigger one, maybe at the rear of the lakes, just so that we have something to look at from the far side on the lake shores. I think that will really kind of add in a nice bit of detail and at least start to sort of set the vision, I guess, for the future, because there is so much that I want to do later on in this season. But before we can do any of that, we need to start getting up a little bit of spruce wood, because as it turns out, I don't have nearly enough for what I need. So I need at least a little bit, just enough to start making in some spruce trapdoors and some planks and stuff, because I think that's probably going to look best for a boat. So yeah, let's start with the bigger one on the far side, because I think this is going to be pretty cool. I think I'm pretty happy with that. I think this definitely has come out quite nicely. So I think this is going to set the scene quite a bit, and we're definitely going to be adding in a lot more boats in the future, because I really want to have this as kind of like a thriving like fishing lake with lots of vessels coming in and out, and I want to eventually build a bit of a town. But for now, this first boat here I think is a pretty good start. I'm actually really happy with this because it's my first ever attempt at making a sailing boat. So I'm not sure if the sails look a little bit derpy or not, but I think it'll do the trick for now. But you have to let me know down in the comments below. But I also made in a little small dinghy as well, sort of moored up by the jetty. So I think that actually also looks pretty good. What we need to do now is we need to actually get a move on and start actually continuing on our mission to get geared up. So what I want to do is I want to head up to one of the brand new shops that's just popped up very recently, and that is Loki's Bookshop. Now, I'm not going to be buying in any other enchantments other than one particular one, and that is a mending. You see, I've set myself a personal challenge of not using any villagers at all, and I think that includes by buying books through other players. But there is one enchantment that I physically cannot get via the enchanting table, and that is mending. So although technically you can get hold of a mending book via fishing, the odds of you actually finding the book are incredibly rare. So I think I've decided to at least bend to buying mending books and leaving it at that. But everything else I will be getting entirely through either loot from chests throughout our many quests that we'll probably have in the future, or via the actual enchanting table itself. And speaking of the enchanting table, Jess has kindly offered to let me use his skelly farm so that I can actually start to begin leveling up to gain the much needed levels, so that I can actually start using the enchanting table to its fullest extent and actually start combining books and stuff so that we can actually get at least a reasonable amount of enchantments on all of our tools. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, hey.
Hi.
As you see,
This is so boring.
But it's such a cool looking place. This is awesome.
It is. Liv did an amazing job decorating it.
Oh, this is cool. I was trying to find you and I found the hole up above and I did not expect to see this dropping down.
Yeah. And actually, I've got some use out of it, but I am so bored of it now. I might just cave and go shopping and buy all the books I need.
That's fair.
But yeah, happy to let you use it whenever you want.
Oh, thank you so much. That is going to be amazing. Yeah, I am in desperate need of levels.
And we have this really quick and dirty chatting table here as well.
Ooh, nice. Thank you.
Right, I'm going to hit these one more time. I'm going to be level 30. I'm going to enchant my boots. I do not want blast protection. And then if I get blast protection again, I'm quitting. I'm going shopping. Come on, one more skelly. Here we go.
You can do it.
Also, we're getting glowing. I mean, not a lot. There's 4 in there, but hey, that's a bonus.
Ooh, nice. That's a, happy bonus.
Okay. Oh, it's raining as well.
It is. It's not very pleasant out there. It's a bit moist.
I need an enchanted umbrella. Hey, we're English. We're used to this sort of weather.
We are, but we can still complain. Never tired of complaining about the rain.
Oh, no, that's all part of the fun, though, isn't it?
Yeah, complain about the rain, talk about the weather, and drink tea.
Yes, tea. Oh, talking of tea.
Yes.
Cup of tea?
Oh, definitely. Yorkshire Gold. Yes, please.
This one's got a kick, actually.
Ooh, what kind of tea is this?
It's a little stewed. You can try it if you want.
Ooh, interesting. Cuppa.
It's a cup of tea. No, don't eat the cup. Oh no, you ate the cup.
Oh no!
You're supposed to drink it. You're not supposed to eat the china. That's really bad for your insides.
Yeah, I feel a bit funny. I wish I'd come with a warning label on this. I feel a bit strange.
Yeah, maybe I could like print it on the bottom or something.
Oh no!
This cup is not consumable.
After that seriously strong tea drinking encounter with Jess, I then got to work and started killing as many skellies as I could to get up the necessary levels, and it took me way longer than I thought it would do, and I actually made multiple trips back and forth to the skelly farm to keep leveling up as I started cycling through the enchanting table to kind of gather all the enchantments that I was interested in. So I tend to go down the trusted route of using a book to kind of like apply and combine things together this way. I have no idea this is the most efficient way of doing it or not, but it's just the way that I've always done it in the past so that I can kind of save enchantments together and then kind of apply them all in one go. Okay, so I think we're getting somewhere now. We're at least almost there with a general set of enchantments, because these can be enough to get ourselves started with. But now we need to actually start with our next goal of today, and that is with building in some pathways to connect up to our neighbors. So we actually have a couple of neighbors kind of right over the hillside from us, and that is Megatronic and MicroPig. So what I'm thinking is that we can start building a pathway here that's going to meander around this sort of sloping hillside and make its way through this overgrown woodland area. So we are going to have to clear up away some trees and stuff, but at least that'll give us a good supply of wood for future projects over in this area. But I don't think we'll go too far with it. We'll just keep it real simple with just some pathway blocks. And then in the future, we can kind of like do a bit of terraforming and landscaping stuff and make it look a little bit more pretty to the eyes. But I think this is going to do the trick for now. At least kind of gives us somewhere that we can clearly navigate to our neighbors, and it kind of joins itself up nicely. Right, so with our basic pathways kind of now in place, kind of breaking up the landscape a little bit more, I think we can actually turn our focus and at least start constructing in a home for our cows. So I will tackle a home for the sheep in the future, but we're going to start with the cows. And for them, I'm thinking that I'm going to be making a bit of a cozy barn up here on this hillside. Now, I want to stick to that sort of classic barn theme. So whenever I think of a barn, I think of those classic sort of red colored ones. And for that, obviously in Minecraft, we have mangrove now. But I need to find some so that we can actually get mangrove planks and stripped mangrove logs. And it turns out the mangrove might actually be one of the hardest woods to find in this world, because I ended up traveling thousands of blocks just to find some. I see mangrove. I actually was starting to think that I would never actually find any. I've been traveling for over 10,000 blocks and I'd not been able to find any, but at last, here is some mangrove. So let's collect up some propagules and then we can make the long, slow trek back home because, yeah, I'm going to need quite a bit of this for our barn. Oh, I am so glad that I finally found some. Okay, so I made it back. I didn't think I was going to make it back at the rate I was going, but anyway, I've made it back, and now it's time to actually start clearing out some space, ready to start building in the barn. So the scale of it is going to be, I suppose, kind of like in the same lines as our fisher hut, so it's not going to be like too big, but it's going to be big enough to give the cows as much space as they'll need, and we'll probably also build like a little area around it as well for the proper enclosure. But as I was actually building, I had a nasty little jump scare from a creeper who caught me off guard and actually blew up a bit of the build as I was constructing. So I was quite annoyed. But anyway, it wasn't too bad. It could have been a lot worse. So I then ended up getting together and fixing the damage. And I got up to speed again in no time at all. So for the barn itself, I'm very much going obviously with the mangrove as like the predominant sort of color scheme, but I also chose to then add a bit of like an oak frame to surround it, so it kind of adds a nice bit of contrast. And then finally for the roof, I then opted to use deep slate because again, I think this just looks really nice for like any kind of roof and any kind of contrasts with the rest of the walls and everything itself as well. And then finally, just a little extra bit of detail on the top there, and then the barn was complete. Nothing beats the feeling in Minecraft that when you complete a build and you're super proud of it, you just can't help but keep staring at it and kind of like procrastinate as you keep sort of looking at it at all angles. And yeah, I'm really happy with it, and it's definitely inspiring me to kind of keep building out on this area. So I think, we're ready to kind of kick off the next phase. So this barn here is now kind of the main centerpiece of this area. What I'm thinking could look really cool is kind of like luscious wheat fields, kind of like work its way down the sloping hillside. It's now the next day, and I've just noticed that Wildspade, who's actually to the west of us, has actually joined up with our pathway, so that is super cool. So we are now joined up to even more players now on the server. So we're joined up to the west, and we're also joined up to the north towards Mega and MicroPig. And I think even MicroPig and Mega are now also joined up even further along from them, up towards Liv and Jess, up towards the sort of the northeasterly way. So that is really cool as we start to get more and more connected to all of our neighbors on the server. And it's only going to get more fun as we get going, because in the future, I want to start building in train lines and all sorts of fun things to kind of connect us up even more. So that's going to be a fun future project, I think. But anyway, we actually need to start get going with our wheat fields. So now I only have like a little bit of wheat at the moment. So I've got this little patch that we planted in right at the beginning of the sort of server when we sort of settled in this area to begin with. So it's probably not going to be enough seed to actually get very far, but at least we can actually get started a little bit. And then as we start getting it planted in, we'll hopefully be able to kind of expand as more and more of the wheat actually starts to grow. We'll gradually populate our sloping wheat field. So that's going to be really cool. Not long, cows, not long. We're getting there now. We're getting there. So let's start by actually flattening out and sort of like tidying up the area a little bit. So the landscape is currently looking a little bit worse for wear from various creeper explosions and just general natural like terrain generation. So yeah, we need to tidy this up a little bit. So can I give ourselves something to actually start planting the wheat on? So yeah. There's something oddly satisfying, I think, about like tilling lots of ground and like planting in lots of wheat seeds and stuff. I mean, I suppose you could argue it's quite a laborious task, but I actually find it quite therapeutic. I could go at this for hours. But yeah, so anyway, I then started getting in the first couple of stretches of our new wheat fields to go up the slopes of our hillside. But it did not take long at all for me to run out of seeds. So whilst we wait for all of our sort of seeds to sort of grow up again so we can harvest the next lot to kind of continue onwards with the wheat field, what I think I'd like to do is take a short break and actually start sort of like landscaping a little bit on our pathway, at least the stretch that's got going in between of the wheat field. So I think, and you'll see why I need this in a minute, but if we harvest up some of these azalea leaves, this is going to come in handy in a second, and you'll see why. But first, what I'd like to do is kind of like remove like a few blocks kind of like alongside of the sort of the path blocks here. And I think what we could actually do is if we sort of remove a few of these like this, then we can actually fill this in with some coarse dirt. And I think that's actually going to form like a nice little boundary and kind of like transition a little bit better from the path blocks into like the grass blocks sort of surrounding it. And it's going to feel like a little bit more natural, I think. And with that kind of in place, then we can start to basically add in some like little fences and stuff, and like the hedgerows with that azalea leaves that we harvested just then. And then also we can add in like a bit of like rock formations and stuff like this. So we're gonna again just break up the landscape and just gonna make it a little bit more interesting and really start to build it out to make this feel like a proper like natural little like road pathway type thing, like kind of like winding its way up towards the other neighbors that we've got near us. I'm probably like gonna just stick to this sort of main stretch here, at least for now, but in the future we can keep going onwards up towards everyone. But yeah, for now at least, the main stretch by our wheat field is gonna have to do. And then I suppose, yeah, let's just add in a few like slabs and stuff so that we can like walk more easily like along this path, at least along the slopey bits. We'll get in a bit of like grass and stuff, like long grass. And we'll also add in like a few like little like flowers and stuff. Like I'm a big fan of like the lilacs. Like they just, I don't know, something about them. Like they're definitely one of my favorite flowers in Minecraft. So yeah, we definitely need to add in a few of these along our pathway. That's gonna add in a nice little pop of color. I mean, doesn't that look nice? I am loving this so much more. And it kind of adds like a really nice kind of like breaking point between like the sort of two sides of our wheat field. So I'm in love with this right now. Like walking up and down here, this has already got me feeling very satisfied. I am chuffed already, but yeah, we've still got a bit more to do, yeah. But I think now we can at least actually start continuing onwards with the wheat fields and then go from there. I've had another idea, and now this might be quite derpy, and you'll have to bear with me and kind of like see how it turns out. But I had an idea. So, you know, typically you have your wheat fields, and there's always one little detail that you tend to find in a lot of these fields to stop certain like birds kind of like feasting at your crops, and that is scarecrows. Now, I know you can probably do something pretty cool with the armor stands mod, but I am no good with it and I have never really properly tried it. So I'm going to do this all pretty vanilla, really. So I had this idea. I thought that maybe we could make like a little scarecrow like this. We'll use like a little hay bale in the middle, some fence posts, and then like a carved pumpkin on top. And yeah, I think this might be one of my derpier additions, but you know what? I think I'm going to roll with it. So, yeah, I think something like that. But it does seem to be missing something. It needs a hat. I don't know how I'm going to do this. Oh, gosh. I don't know what he looks like there. But no, single trapdoor is in no. Okay, I think I might need to use maybe like acacia. Yeah, acacia. This looks so stupid, but I actually like it. Yeah, I'm going to stick with this. Yeah, don't judge it too much. I know you could do something so much cooler with the armor stands mod, but I actually kind of like that it's just purely vanilla Minecraft. And something about it is kind of a little bit more, I don't know, true to the game maybe. So, you know, I think I'll just add a few more of these, and I think it's going to add like a nice little feature, you know, stop the imaginary birds that we don't yet have into Minecraft. Like, Mojang, come on, add in some birds. We need birds in the game, you know. That would be perfect. There's some crows or something, you know. They're always adding in new mobs, but where's the flying creatures? We don't need more phantoms, we need birds. But anyway, let's add in also a few little like hay bale piles as well. So I think that's also going to look quite cool in the context of a wheat field. And again, it just kind of breaks it up a little bit because, you know, just having purely wheat is kind of like a bit repetitive. So just having something to kind of break up the formations a little bit is going to go a long way, I think. So yeah. I think we're almost there. Like, this is looking really good. This is looking so nice already. And this is, yeah, let's filled out that landscape really well. I'm liking this. It's kind of definitely building out this sort of like cozy farmland area theme that we've started to go with. You know, I'm not really planning at all with my base ideas in general. I'm just kind of like rolling with everything as it kind of comes along. And I think sometimes that's the best way to do it. Like, no plan is the best plan, as they say. So yeah, let's kind of just see how it all keeps coming out, really. I mean, I have already got ideas for like maybe in the future as well. So we'll see what we can add in over time. But anyway, I need to collect up a bit of stone and stuff because basically I'm thinking what I'd like to do. So obviously we've got the wheat field kind of like ending just by the barn. So rather than, well, just like abruptly sort of like transitioning into it, I was thinking maybe we could actually build like a bit of like a barrier wall or something. and kind of like have it sort of like enclose the barn area, and kind of add like a really nice sort of like breaking point between the wheat fields and then the barn area. And I think that's going to look really nice, because otherwise it kind of feels like you've got to endlessly have the kind of the wheat kind of keep sloping all the way down. It just feels like it's never ever going to end. So by having like a little bit of like a wall to kind of like break things up a little bit and kind of like add like a clear like boundary, it's going to look really cool. But yeah, so with the wall kind of there, let's actually also do a little bit with like the ground area here, because obviously this is actually going to be where our cows are going to be living, so it's going to be like well grazed and well trodden on, you know. So it's going to be a bit messy, and so I think if we add in some like packed mud and like coarse dirt and podzol and stuff, I think that's going to look pretty good. So yeah, we'll add in all of this, and we also need to we do need to actually encompass this in a fence, because we don't want our cows to sort of escape. So yeah, if we build in a bit of a fence around this to kind of keep them safe and sound by the barn, then that's going to look really good, I think. So yeah, we're almost there. We're almost there and ready to kind of move our cows in. So yeah, a little bit more to do, and then I think we're golden, really. It seems like I've got some unwanted visitors on my new pathway. These are not the sort of friendly people that I wanted visiting us. Get out of here, you. Get out of here. And the great thing is, I suppose, now is we don't have to worry about getting bad omen anymore. We can just kill these guys at will and get rid of them without any kind of consequences. So, oh, come here. I need to get a shield again. I've stopped using a shield, and this is what I get. I get arrows in the face. Come on, guy. Let's get right like that. Right. Okay. One more, and there we go. Cool. So now I should have my bottle of bad omen. Is that what it's called now? Yeah, cool, okay. Oh, ominous potion or whatever. Yeah, fine. Right, we'll keep that safe for another time. We'll probably have a bit of fun with that maybe in the future. But yeah, I think it's time now to actually get our cows moved on in. So, moved on in, should I say. But anyway, let's get going. So come on, cows, let's get inside your new home. It's finally time to get you all in. So in you come, in you come. Oh, God. Herding cows is always a nightmare. Come on, in you come, in you come. Oh, half of them are running away already. Come on, inside. Oh, right, okay, in the end. Right, come on, you, come on. There we go. Right, inside. Right, finally. Okay, I've got them all inside. And can we close the gates? Yes. Gates are closed. The cows are now moved in. Welcome to your new home. Oh, that feels good. Right, the barn is done, our paths are done, and we are geared up. So yeah, now all we need to do is just kind of remove our little temporary pen that we added in at the start, and then I think we're starting to really kind of level up our base area now, and it kind of, I'm very happy with the progress, and then we'll have to think about what we do with the sheep in the future. So in a later episode, we'll think of something for them. We'll maybe something to do like, I don't know, shepherd's hut or something. We'll end up like another little like area for the sheep. We'll figure that out in a later episode. But anyway, with all of that now and all the massive progress that we've made in this episode, I think that's really all we have time for. So all I have to say now is thank you very much for watching, and until next time, I shall see you later. Bye-bye.